Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Happy Wednesday. So glad that you guys decided to join us this evening. Just wanted to let you know that our show is brought to you by the fabulous ladies over at Femme Fatale Fitness. Make sure to like and follow them on Instagram and Facebook. Coming up soon on October 27th, they are having a Halloween Wicked Workout Open Gym. So they would have some wicked workouts that are going to be given to you guys by their awesome trainers. And trust me, if you go there, you're going to fall in love with the girls. If you want to stop by the workout, or you can enter the Halloween contest. That is, how many people do you think are going to dress up as workout Barbie when they go up there to the gym? Also, if you signed up for your membership that particular day, there's no initiation cost at all. But also remember, if you decide to sign up before or after that, mention the Libra Lounge with Keisha and you'll get $10 off your initiation fee. So make sure to follow Femme Fatale so you can get updates on all their classes, their trainers, and whatever specials that they're having going on. Everyone I have tonight with me live in the studio, Miss Bianca Smith. She's got a fabulous book that she's going to tell us all about. But before we do that, it is time for the Gab.
We know she has a really big mouth, which sounds kind of dirty, and that's probably true too. Let's gossip. The Gab with Keisha.
Hey, Courtney. All righty. Okay, so word on the street is that Amber Rose and Blac Chyna are no longer following each other on social media. What do you think that means?
A mess.
Well, you know, they had their annual slut walk, and Blac Chyna wasn't there. I thought hoes stuck together. And that goes against hoe code, you know what I mean? So the shade room, because they are pettier than I am. They crack me up, and they did a little bit of investigating, and they saw that Amber and Chyna are not following each other on Twitter nor Instagram. Can you imagine what could have possibly happened to make those two stop being friends?
For me, it reminded me that they are still regular people. Don't we do it?
Yeah, that's true.
We will unfollow in a split second. So
right.
I said, yeah, they're definitely still human.
I try to think about, like, what would Amber Rose and Blac Chyna fight about? They don't have morals. Or very, 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 look, maybe they got into a fight about wigs.
Yeah, probably a good lace.
So maybe I don't know, but I most definitely cannot wait to hear the details, because it's gonna come out of what really went down. Personally, I think that Blac Chyna has, you know, ever since she had the baby with Rob Kardashian and was temporarily a member of the clan, the K clan, I think she probably thought that her shit didn't stink as bad as it used to. You think it could be a little bit of that?
I bet.
I don't know. And it seems to me like Amber, she's really been trying to stay out of the spotlight. Mm-hmm. So maybe she's trying to get it all together, because a lot of the stuff that they would do was quite immature. Oh, yeah. I mean, do you think an annual slut walk is something that women really need?
No.
Now, if you're not familiar with the slut walk, its purpose is a march to end rape culture, victim blaming, and slut shaming. I just, You know, I guess it falls underneath that category of owning it. But at the same time, here's my thing. Everybody always wants to attach female equality, female empowerment onto things. But I'm sorry, I have a 16-year-old. I don't particularly want her to gather female empowerment from a slut walk or Amber Rose.
The name alone.
I know. Can we clean up the name a little bit? Because to me personally, I think it's Blac Chyna and Amber Rose's opportunity to try to make other women feel sorry for them. It's not working, ladies. It's just not working at all. So I guess we will see as time goes on if this dynamic duo will get back together, because it wasn't that long I'm trying to think. Was it the Summer War show? They were taking pictures on the whatever color carpet it was for that show together. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. Are you a fan of Coldplay?
I'm not.
No. Oh my gosh. Coldplay is one of my favorite bands. Chris Martin is the lead singer. You know, he's cool with Beyonce and Jay-Z, and he's the ex-wife of actress Gwyneth Paltrow, who last week got married. But over the weekend, because I just always had hope that Chris and Gwyneth would get back together. I don't know, but I guess not, especially since it seems that he and his girlfriend, Dakota Johnson, who you guys probably know from the 50 Shades of Grey movies. I've never seen the movies. I've never read the books. I just like good old regular internet porn. I mean, instead of all of that, get straight to the point, knock your rocks off and keep on marching. It appeared as though they had a star-studded gender reveal, but they're still not saying whether or not Dakota is pregnant. But I heard that there were lots of pink and blue balloons. And then at one point, lots of blue balloons went up in the air, indicating maybe they're having a baby boy. Good luck to them if they are. Also, do you watch a lot of TV, Bianca?
I do not.
Oh, come on. Bianca, we got a whole hour.
So I love to see how passionate you are about just mess, just pure mess.
I'm easily entertained.
I do not.
You know, it's so funny because you're not the only person that has said that. There's been so many people like, I don't even know what it is that you were talking about, but listening to you talk about it was so funny. I had to go back and start watching that show. Okay, so I created a list of television's most doable men. So if you know what fuckable men, it's men that I think are fuck worthy because they're so damn cute. All right. So I think we're going to have some pop-up pictures of some of these scrumptious guys. At least just tell me if you agree with me or not. Okay. So
I can do that. Yeah.
First up, who do we have? We have Mr. Jay Hernandez, who is he is doing the television reboot of Magnum PI. Now, a lot of people are not happy about him taking over Tom Selleck's role, but I mean, he could come over here and play Magnum PI all he wants to. Hey, Jay. Next, who do I have next on the list?
You.
That's a big my picture of me. She's doable. Oh, now y'all know this is my sweetheart right here. This is Milo. Producer James is going to get me because I'm going to brutalize his last name. We just call him Jack Pearson over here, but Milo Ventimigiliano or Giuliano. Anyway, Jack Pearson, he can do no wrong. He's got those puppy dog brown eyes. And, you know, I've always thought that he was cute, but since he, came into our lives from the show This Is Us, playing Jack Pearson, he is just the ultimate dad that you want to fuck. So he is a FIL. Right? Isn't that what it is? FIL? It's like it's the male equivalent of MILF. So a filth, father I'd like to fuck. There it is. All right. So what do you think, Milo? What's his name?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Do you like black men, white men?
You know what?
It doesn't matter?
It's starting to not matter. The older I get, it's starting to not matter.
The pick is real slim, ain't I? I know. Okay, next up, speaking of black men, we have Kofi. She ain't been this perked up since she walked up the stairs. Yeah, so everyone knows Kofi Cerebo, who plays Ralph Angel on Queen Sugar on OWN network. Now here's the thing. I like lighter skinned men. I really do.
Not me. And I want him so black, I gotta look for him.
That's damn near that right there. Because if he closes his eyes, it's no face. Because he is dark, but perfect. He is quite lovely. He is chiseled and he fine. Have you seen him without a shirt on?
Look at him.
He look like a big old Snickers bar. Just I'ma suck it a little bit, nibble on it a little bit, and the boy is gorgeous, but he is dark and lovely. Okay, who do we have next up on the list? Norman Reedus, because I love me a dirty looking white boy. Norman has been in the game for a long time. A lot of you guys know him from The Walking Dead. Norman never looks like he's taken a bath that week, but it's just something. So he used to model, and he still just has that dirty girl, let me lick you down look about him. He's just cute.
No, Norman looks like he's wearing a closure. No. No, absolutely not.
Don't do my boy like that.
And it's lopsided. If it was a sister, you would have wore her out talking about
Because he always has that I don't care kind of vibe about it. Can you find another picture, producer James? Look, we got to give Norman another chance. Come on. We got to. Can you find one with a shorter hair? She had
no closure.
I'm not going to let her talk about you like that, Norman. I'm not. But producer James is looking for another picture of him. Let's see. She said my boy looked like he had a bad closure, a lopsided. Well, you know what? There's not a lot of pictures of him right now with short hair because of the role for The Walking Dead. There's no. I'm going to make you love Norman before you leave. All right, Norman, I'm sorry. Some women can't appreciate that dirty white boy look like I can. Let's just keep it moving. Let's see. Oh, last on my list of doable men from television is Jesse Williams. We all know him as one of the doctors who hasn't died on Grey's Anatomy. What do you think about Jesse?
I think he's hot.
Jesse's hot. Actually, my husband's like, what is he? And I'm like, well, he's half black, half white, but you can't tell him he not as dark as me, though. I mean, he is all about black empowerment. He said, don't let the blue eyes fool you. But Jesse can get it if he want to. So Bianca says, you don't watch that much television. Do you even have anyone on your doable men list from TV? She's still thinking about coffee over there. Raph Angel.
That's who I was going to say. You know what? You can give me everybody in Black Panther. Everybody.
Well, you can just give me Michael B. Jordan.
Okay.
That boy right there. I mean, eggs was dropping all in the theater whenever he took his shirt off. I was just like, I know I'm about to walk out this theater 13 months pregnant. Because Michael B. Jordan, that boy is something else. And next month, Creed 2 is coming out. Okay. Have you seen the poster for the movie?
I have not.
Oh, he on his knees. He's crying. Got baby all over him. He looking like he said, Keisha, come over here and just sit on my lap and help me figure out what's really going. Why am I crying in this movie poster? So, but yes.
You trying to come up like Blac Chyna.
Ooh, so, I mean, if that's what I got to do, my husband just be looking at me like, she don't know how to act right at all. Like, one person goes, that's your husband? I'm like, yeah. Like, I'm still a woman. You know what? Don't nobody want me except for him. And he knows I ain't going nowhere. Okay, so I know when you sent me an email about coming to do the show, you made mention of another show of mine that you saw where you said who was I going after on that show?
SZA and Tiffany Haddish.
Well, we're going to go after Tiffany Haddish some more tonight.
So we're not going to let her make it?
She doesn't let herself make it, Bianca.
Oh.
And I just have to let you know, when I was a little girl, I always wanted to change my name, and Bianca was one of those names.
Really?
Yeah, so when I was like, I don't like her, but I like her. Yeah. I want my name to be Bianca. Yes, Tiffany Haddish. I'm going to tell, look at that, look. Here's all the reasons why Tiffany Haddish.
I came with the intent to take up for her, but
okay, I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to let you argue the opposite side, because I don't think I don't think Tiffany Haddish is funny. I think she is loud. I think she's obnoxious. She ready. If I never hear that again in my life, she is, she calls herself a comedian, but she doesn't know how to write jokes. Am I wrong or am I right? Can she write a joke?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if she's writing jokes or not.
Okay.
I do think she's sillier than she is funny.
Very silly.
But I think the same about Kevin Hart, though. Like, I think he is silly.
No.
I don't know if he's extremely funny, but I think he's like really,
he is silly. But when you 3'7", you kind of have to be silly all of the time. Yeah. Tiffany had. I think that she is a one-trick pony. I think. What was the movie Girls Trip that she did with I think that was it for Tiffany.
No, I love that.
No, I think that was it. I don't think she's going to be any more than that, what she was in that movie. Okay. But
for some people, that's enough. Like, I think I'm more inspired by her than to say I love her jokes. So let me be fair. I'm extremely inspired by her. But on the flip side, I will say speaking of stigmas and the loud,
Mm-hmm,
ghetto, crazy country black woman with the attitude, I will say I am careful because I know the higher she goes up, the thicker that stigma gets. Because that's what she portrays.
That is what she portrays all the time. And that, I think that's what annoys me. Yeah. Because I've actually sat down and listened to interviews about her come up, and it's extremely impressive.
Oh, I love it.
I think it gives a lot of hope to women of color who are trying to make it in the entertainment business. But as far as her being an entertainer, no. And please, for the love of God, somebody get that child a stylist. I mean, every show that she is on, I'm like, did her grandmother, who's blind in one eye and has cataract in the other one, dress her? But she just can't do it. I don't think she's funny. A lot of people went and saw the new movie that she and Kevin Hart are in, what is it, Night School? And they said it was horrible. Oh. Yeah, horrible. You know. Now, I'll say this. Kevin Hart is a true comedian because he can actually do a whole comedy set. I mean, there's been times I've tinkled in my pants a little bit laughing at Kevin Hart on stage, a comedy stage. Now, as far as his movie roles, he's playing the same roles every single movie, you know, but as far as a comedian, you know, he's pretty funny, but maybe he can give Tiffany some tips or something like that. I mean, at the end of the day, you have one fan at this table, Tiffany, and it's not me. So,
you won't believe who still makes me laugh.
Who?
Cat Williams.
He's hilarious.
I love him.
Did you see that shit he did a couple of weeks ago?
Yes, I love him.
Well, I cannot remember the lady's name, but he was on her show and he read her to filth. But here's my thing. Yep. You cannot have a Cat Williams or any kind of comedian come on your show and you're not ready.
No, you have to be.
And then you have to have thick skin. He talked about that woman's cholesterol, her blood pressure. She was so mad she sent her husband after Cat Williams with a gun. I mean, you have to be pretty. But to me, the people she should have been mad at were her two co-hosts. Yeah. Because they were laughing so hard, they were damn near on the floor.
Like me right now.
I was just like, girl, you need to get it together. But yes, Cat Williams is... I
love him.
It's still extremely funny. Cat Williams... I think he has his demons. Yeah, he's demons. Most definitely. And I think that is what's probably stopping him right now from getting back to that level that he was. But as far as funny, because when he talked about that woman, I'm a plus size woman. He talked about her weight and I laughed at it. It was all funny, you know.
I remember he got into it with a minor, like a child, like a 7th or 8th grader one time. He fought a kid, so I love him.
He kid size?
Yes. And that was his justification.
Yeah, he's like, and kids are assholes. I mean, they rude, they're fearless, you know, and they'll say anything. I can't wait, so you gonna learn today. Yep. So, alrighty. So do you watch This Is Us?
I do not.
Okay, you know what? Go, get up. Your purse over there.
And
get your purse and go. Go watch all of season 1, 2, 3. When you're done, come back and be on the show.
But I knew you would keep me up. I knew you'd have all the good stuff, so it was okay if I hadn't watched that.
The new season has started.
I know somebody's pregnant.
No.
See? I told you I didn't know.
Damn it. She just guessed. She guessed because there's always someone pregnant on the show. Now, she's trying to get pregnant. Okay.
Close.
So you're very, very close. Yeah. Okay, so if you are a This Is Us mega fan like we are in our house, I think we are on episode number 3. We did not watch it last night. I will probably watch it tomorrow night. But so far this season, we are really getting into the story of how the big 3 being Randall, which is actor Sterling K. Brown, who can really do no wrong either. Randall, Kate, and Kevin, how they became who they are after the death of Jack. We see Randall is still struggling trying to find his place. Kate and Toby, who my husband just loves Toby. I think he has a shirt that says Team Toby. They had a miscarriage, so now they are going through IVF treatment and trying to get pregnant. And in doing so, Toby has decided to up their chances of getting pregnant by stopping his antidepressants. This could be disastrous.
I forgot to tell you, Happy World Mental Health Day. Speaking of that.
Because he done already went off on Kate's mom. Okay. So that's one. And I think it's going to get worse. So I won't go into too far in depth with it tonight since Bianca ain't ever watched the show. But I will say this. You are a writer. Mm-hmm. And This Is Us has some of the best writing that has ever been on television. It is beautifully crafted, and I'm actually being serious for me because y'all know I'm serious.
Did you see how I looked at you like, don't have me looking this stuff up?
Oh, you have to watch it from. Okay. I've never seen a television show and said, "Wow, that's season 1."
Okay,
that's season 1. Don't wear no makeup because you're gonna cry it all off.
I believe it.
Okay, so next time I talk to you, Bianca, because I'm sure you'll be back.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We're going to talk about this stuff. So right after this commercial break, we are going to talk more about Miss Bianca Smith and her book, Murdered by a Christian on a Sunday. We'll be right back. Femme Fatale is the fully equipped boutique-style gym and fitness club that is taking a new and innovative approach to women's health and fitness. Our main goal is to provide a comfortable and completely judgment-free venue for women of all ages and fitness levels to come exercise and feel like a positive, fit family. We understand the busy lifestyle of today's women, so we also provide 30 minutes to 1 hour fitness classes, including the newest trends like boot camps, yoga, and body bar. We also offer a break room for school-aged children to hang out, as well as a tanning bed and sauna. We are located at 689 FM 517 West in Dickinson, Texas, and our phone number is 281-678-8037. Mention the Libra Lounge and get $10 off your initiation fee. We look forward to growing our fit family with you. Welcome back to the Libra Lounge with Keisha. I have in the studio with me Miss Bianca Smith, and she is the author of this book, Murdered by a Christian on a Sunday. And before we get into the book, this cover is just something fierce. I love it. Who came up with the concept? Because it's simple, but it says so much. There's so much life in it.
Keisha, I actually had a dream and saw every bit of that. Mm-hmm. Scared the hell out of me. So mm-hmm. I knew exactly where that was. That's inside my church, my home church in mm-hmm. Gulfport, Mississippi. Mm-hmm. I saw everything vividly. Blood everywhere. I saw me sitting in a chair that I wouldn't sit in on a Sunday. Right. Basically inside of a church, but outside of the norm. Right. So that's where the
I love it. Comes from. I love it.
Thank you.
So describe to our audience who Bianca Smith is in 5 words.
Oh, absolutely. I am an author, an advocate, an activist, most proud of being a sister and a fighter.
Okay, so a lot of people nowadays want to put activists underneath their list of things that they do, but they really don't do it. Mm-hmm. They think they can go to one protest and they're an activist, but they don't commit to it. Mm-hmm. With mental health, it has a lot of stigmas attached onto it. So why did you find it important to become an advocate for it?
Being a member of the African American community, our community is probably the most challenging as far as trying to remove some of the layers of the stigma. Mm-hmm. We will call somebody crazy and lock them up in a room and leave them there for years. We will watch the mental health of people we love decline for years and years and say things like, girl, you know, that's how she is. Right. And so for me, that's not how she is. That's how that illness is. Right. And so, we have to fight it.
We have to do better and help each other. We do. Why do you think that people find it so hard, so embarrassing to talk about depression and suicide when it's all around us every single day?
I really do think they fear the response that they'll get. Mm-hmm. So for us, we have to check ourselves. When people come to us, when they confide in us, we have to make sure we are creating a safe space for them.
Right.
When people feel safe, when they feel comfortable, when they feel like they don't have to worry about that negative judgment in return, they'll tell you just about anything.
Right.
There are some people who I love, who are near and dear to me, and I have no problem telling them, I was on my computer last night doing my work, and I saw my brother, or thought I saw his shadow, or, you know, a figure type. And they accept that.
Yeah. I mean, it's so, because I'll tell anyone, you know, I suffer from depression. Is it manic depression? No, it's mild depression where I can take note of when I'm going there, because you obsess about something and then I'm like, ooh, cocooning myself in the bed for days. And I'm like, okay, this is not the business, you know? And then I think after, you know, I came to terms with what it was, it's something that you most definitely can live with. And you can manage it. There's so many ways to manage it, but you have to be open to talking about it, because depression so often leads to suicide.
Absolutely. And one of the things you mentioned, as far as I can feel it coming on, a man who I respect and honor immensely, he says, you have to learn and pay attention to the rhythm of your life. So for you, you know the rhythm of your life. Most people, they don't. And it catches them off guard. And then we see the societal impact, because it's not just them who are affected by it. All of us are. So most people say the first step is acknowledging something is wrong, or the first step is getting some help. All of that is very important, but paying attention to the rhythm of your life, what triggers you, that's kind of the stuff that I work through personally. Right.
And you have to be in tune with yourself. Absolutely. And I think we live in a society that tells us, no, be like this. This is what happy is. This is what happy looks like. Do everything for the gram, make everything look fabulous. And, you know, I pick up on signs. I know certain situations, I'm like, I have to remove myself from that. Absolutely. Because that puts me in a headspace that I can't deal with that. What do you think are some of the main issues within different cultures when it comes to mental health? Because to me, there are huge gaps, cultural gaps in dealing with mental health.
Okay. Well, I will say for the European or specifically Caucasian community, they do appear to be, even statistics show, they do appear to be more supportive of their loved ones, and not just giving them that safe space to talk about it, but actually encouraging them to seek treatment. Right. Supporting them, even if that means, you know, going to a few sessions with them. Again, African American community. I think for us, the struggle that I'm seeing and that the research is actually showing is we are feeding one stigma with another. So one of the things that I experienced when dealing with all of this pain and trauma of my brother's murder is there's this stigma that I'm actually feeding into and living up to, as far as being a strong Black woman. So everything in me wants to be that strong Black woman. Right. And I am that. Right. I am that. But on the flip side, I'm also feeding that stigma, the stigma of something is wrong with me. I don't feel right. I'm not thinking right. Yeah. Emotions are up and down. Right. But I'm not going to talk about it, because most people don't know how to receive it. Right. So.
And we fear being judged, and we fear people telling us that we're crazy. And then historically for Black people, we always hear you come from slaves. Yep. Our people made it through slavery. You know what? I bet they asses was depressed about it a little bit too. But it's things that you have to work through. And I really hate, and you said it perfectly, that we are expected as Black women especially to be strong, because we so often have to be. But part of being strong is recognizing your weaknesses too. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, we recognize it and the rest of the world recognizes it. When I first got into corrections as a profession, I will never forget that in this county jail in this rural area in Mississippi, on the first floor, it's the sheriff's floor, all of these office and these administrative and support positions, nobody in these positions looked like me. But you go right downstairs to where the cells, the zones, and all the offenders are, at least 95% of the staff down there was African American. They expect us to be tougher. They put things on us. We are put in harsher work conditions than, you know, people of other colors, because they expect us to be tough.
And I don't know how I feel about that. You know what I mean? Because to me, it teaches our, especially young girls, that if you're not this pillar of strength all the time, 24/7, that something's wrong with you. And that's not reality.
It's not.
You know what I mean? I always have this thing, even with my friends and family, it's like, out in public, we don't go against each other.
That's right.
But then behind the scenes, I'm going to have you back in front of whoever else. But as soon as we get behind closed doors, I'm going to bitch, you was wrong for that.
That's
you
right.
know, you have to be able to have that safe place where you can unwind, because we all have to put on a mask every day. What role do you think the church plays in this?
Well, I will say,
don't get us kicked out. Don't have the deacons and the bishops outside,
because I'm sure somebody from my church is watching. I love y'all, and I don't want y'all to vote me out. So no, but I will say, in all fairness, the church, and let's just be real. Right now, I'm referring to
the Black church.
I am, and I really am. Mega churches they have the resources to do amazing work in this area. But even churches who aren't mega churches, they're doing amazing work in just trying to meet the needs of their congregation. But I think their role is really to provide the services when they have the resources to provide the services, but when they don't, be real with your congregation. Absolutely. Yes. Create these relationships in the community to where, yes, there's a point in my life where I absolutely want faith-based counseling, but there's a point in my life where it may take a congregational leader to say, I know you believe in God, but to believe in him doesn't mean you don't believe in a therapist. Doesn't mean that, therapists aren't also effective. So, like I said, when they don't have the resources to meet the needs, get these members referred out to some help.
Most definitely.
Do whatever you can. There's so many.
That's part of your role as the leader. Absolutely.
There's so many agencies who will offer things on a sliding scale. And like I said, with the partnerships, you could probably get someone to come in. Like I said, just the whole idea of sitting on a couch and talking to an old white man with some glasses on, that's the perception that we have.
And it's not like that anymore.
No, absolutely not. So it may take to bring those services inside of the church where these people are comfortable before we can kind of get them on board. To seeking out.
And it ain't nothing wrong with going to a psychiatrist.
Absolutely.
Because some of us have to have a pill. And it is not, and I tell people all the time, there are too many doctors of medicine out there that just walk around being okay with being crazy.
How are you more comfortable taking somebody else's pill and you want go
a pill that is not for you?
Go get your own.
Yes, but it's still that fear.
Yes.
It is like doing that is admitting that you're crazy.
Absolutely.
And I'm just like, well, damn, you're crazy. Own it. It is what it is.
I wanted to say that today with it, like I said, people don't know that this was a total accident. Me coming on, like I had a choice, you had a choice for it to be World Mental Health Day. And I literally wanted to post, ain't nothing crazy, but the fact that something is not right upstairs and you won't go and get some help.
That's crazy. It really is. Yeah. Let me see what else I got. Oh, so I was trying to be real smart with my questions for you. So with the growing rate of suicide within the African American and gay communities, how can the church become a resource of safety and assistance? And I think you already answered that question. And I believe that, church leaders have to go past what they have been taught to be as a leader. Absolutely. And be accepting of people having mental health, because so many, we just like there's good doctors, there's bad doctors, there's good and bad church leaders too. And some of them want to be the next step before God. They, if they can't fix it, God can. But sometimes you got to intervene.
That's right. I would say these congregational leaders, and not just them, because you and I both know that there is one leader to all these other people inside the church. So all of us really do need to bear the responsibility. Acknowledging these claims when they come up. Yes. Not dismissing them, talking about, we're going to be praying for you. I got it. And I'm praying for me too, but on the way to my grief counselor.
Exactly.
In the car, in traffic. So that's a very important one. And also, just to kind of help with that comfort level, it may be a tad bit more effective to have this conversation away from the altar. Like I bring all of my other stuff there, and I'll bring this there too. But if there's other space that's available, let's have this conversation, I'm hinting at a more private space.
Right.
You know, I may come to you as a prayer warrior or someone, you know, wanting to open up about my concerns, but it's not for sister so-and-so and so-and-so who's on the baking committee to know that I came to you and said that I was feeling suicidal.
And that's the worst thing that can happen to someone that is coming to you, that is going through something mentally, and then it becomes the church gossip. But and that's part of the reason that people fear that, because it happens. It really does happen. Okay, after this break, we're going to come back and you're going to tell us about the inspiration behind you writing the book, Murdered by a Christian on a Sunday. We'll be right back. Hey guys, it's Keisha, the host of the Libra Lounge with Keisha podcast and web series. If you follow me on social media, you know that the Million Harris is one of the sponsors of the show. I've told you all about the great hair products for both men and women that they have, but I wanted to give you an opportunity to actually see some of their hair bundles. Here they are. What I did was I ordered both 20 and 22-inch Malaysian bundles and a frontal from the Million Harris and took them to my stylist and had her make this unit. Yes, this is actually a lace front unit made from the bundles I purchased at the Million Harris. I usually don't wear this much hair extensions, nor do I wear it this long, but I really, really love it. The hair feels amazing. It looks great. I've been getting compliments everywhere that I go. So make sure to go to her website or stop by the shop and get your order on. She's got hair products, bundles, and mink lashes. Make sure to use my discount code Libra20 for 20% off your total purchase. Hey guys, welcome back to the Libra Lounge with Keisha. I have author Bianca Smith. We have been talking about mental health awareness. Bianca has written a book. I've not had a chance to read it, but you said that copy's for me, right?
I did, because you're too busy watching all these messy shows and the slut walk and all this foolishness.
Ooh,
yes.
Wait a minute now. Producer James, take up for
me.
What do I do every night before bed? Not that.
He didn't eat.
I read.
Yeah, let's just keep going, because he did not.
I've read 22 books so far in 2018. I love. I can read a book like that. Okay. I love to read. So
I'm with you. I
love it. It's my time. Yes. It is just my time. They know don't mess with me. None of that. Okay. So give us the background behind your book, and it's that's a very catchy title too. Mm-hmm. It makes you stop and say, "Wait, what? What? Did I read that right?"
Yes.
So go ahead and tell us about it.
I heard you as you were doing my introduction, and I'm sorry, not the introduction, but just the agenda for this next segment, and you said we'll talk about the inspiration behind the book. Honey, that's pure pain.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, lots of pain. Like periods of my life, like full of fear. So there's a lot behind that. Mm-hmm. My brother was murdered while sitting in his car. There's a sports bar not far from our home, and so it's a place where you could go on Sunday, early in the day or whenever, watch the game, have a few drinks, bar food, and the experience that I was having with the criminal justice system, recognizing my own mental health declining. The way that it impacted my family, as far as people having to take off work and these court appearances every month, and just me like really wanting to give up, literally had to say, you cannot allow the death of someone else to cause you your life, to cost you your life. So that's kind of the gist behind it.
That's so funny that you said that your place of work. Because I was a youth social worker for years and years and years, and my husband can tell it. It was part of the reason I had to give it up. Yeah. I fostered a student, but I was like, I feel like I'm sending them back to the same shitty situations, and it's bothering me and taking away joy from my life. So, has there? You mentioned the murder of your brother. Has there been any justice in his death?
Honey, if there hadn't been any justice, I wouldn't be here. I'd be behind bars.
Okay.
So there has absolutely been justice. I thank God for that. The person who murdered my brother has since been convicted of first-degree murder, and he is serving time in the Texas penal system. And I actually did find out recently that he is appealing his sentence. So you will see me doing more and more and more. The book was only the beginning.
So did he ever say why?
He actually had the nerve to say self-defense. Of course, the claims were refuted. And my brother's sitting in the car unarmed. Thank goodness there were plenty of eyewitnesses. But aside from what he said, they actually worked together.
Oh, so they knew each other.
Oh, yeah. They had actually worked together at an Applebee's. It's also very close to the scene where he was murdered. And the employees there served as amazing resources for the case. They told us some of the claims and the statements and some of kind of like the hate behind his act. Actually, his own family, they showed up, I guess, thinking they were helping him. A lot of what they said gave us good insight. Plenty of jail calls that were recorded gave us insight. So there was definitely some hate, definitely some prejudices that he had, simply based on the color of my brother's skin. And we will probably never know the truth.
Real reason.
And so I'm working to, become okay with it.
So when you sat down to write this book, is the book... Does it catalog your brother's murder and then the trial, or did it start before then?
Actually, it's that. It's just what you said. It started right with the murder. The book started as a therapeutic tool for me. I literally had to write to keep from going crazy. So my journal chronicles are in the book. Okay. And then I went in later once I felt better about the situation and wanted to again help others, especially victims of violent crime. That's when I kind of chronicled everything and did some revisions to the format so that it'd be readable. Right. Per se.
Now, was it just you and your brother? How many siblings are there?
Oh, a ton. But I have 9 siblings now. Wow. So my brother and I were extremely close because we're only 1 year apart in age.
Irish twins almost.
Yeah. And so, my story is my mom, she had us. She's a single parent, teenage mother. So the joke is we all grew up together. Right. And I'm talking about shared a room for years, slept in the same bed for years. Anytime I moved, he'd come and stay with me. So very, very close relationship.
Did he have children?
He did not.
Did not have children. So was your family supportive of you writing this book that's based in part about your brother's death?
They did not know until funds started running low. So I absolutely did not tell them about the book until I was launching the book and a movement, FABE, which is my brother's nickname. So FABE, the acronym is Forget Average, Be Extraordinary. And so, like I said, things were coming up and I had expenses all over the place. And I was like, I better tell these people what I'm doing before they think I'm out here smoking with their money. So that's when I told them. They were completely caught off guard. I remember, as a matter of fact, calling my dad to unlock the church for me to go in and have the photographs done. And he didn't ask any questions. He's like, okay, I guess you're probably going there to pray or something. Right. But as for the rest of them, they did not know until the project was completed. And I have still recommended that my mom and dad not read the book.
Do you think they have and just haven't told you that they have?
My dad has. My mom, I absolutely do not want her to read. Very graphic, emotional, and it's re-victimization. There's that fear of that, and I really don't want to see her experience that. I'm not prepared to respond to her experiencing that. So, and
then also in the book, if you're documenting what you were feeling mentally and emotionally, that's hard for parents to see that because they, parents are supposed to have the magic touch. That's right. And just to know that your child is living in turmoil, it's really hard, for them to do that because they always look at what they could have done or, things like that. What has been the feedback that you've received since releasing the book? When was the book released?
June 14th.
Oh, so, okay.
It's been over the summer, actually. I have had the opportunity to do about 5 different book signings. I toured the book. I went to London. So it's been amazing. The feedback has been amazing. Everybody from the homicide detective just recently got feedback from him to a professor for a study abroad course that I took. oh goodness, people who I have no idea who they were. You talked about advocacy. So yes, I used like change.org, but most people don't know that I literally parked my car in the same spot where my brother was when he was murdered, got out of my car and went to every business in that strip center and said, hey, you remember that murder that took place here? The one that happened to where you were so scared you couldn't open your doors on Monday?
Right.
Because there's actually a child care center and an indoor playground all in that same strip center. So I went there knocking on doors, speaking to employees and managers, asking them to sign my petition. There's lots of stuff with the judge lowering the bond and all kind of just nasty stuff that we had to deal with.
Things that, you know, people, you're going through the stages of death and mourning, and then you have to, there was a murder, and there, you know, an investigation has to be given, and trial and
court every single month, like the first Tuesday of every month for exactly 12 months. He was murdered in February. We received the conviction in February of this year. So from February 2017 to February 2018, I dealt with court every single month.
That takes a toll on anybody.
Absolutely. Could have cost me everything.
Right.
Job, school, everything that I had going on at that time.
And you, well, I can remember when I was maybe around 10, my uncle was murdered literally the street over from my grandparents' house. And I remember being a little girl, and it was during summertime, you know, us being at court. But now as an adult, I realized, how did they function? You know, how do you listen to the testimony of people describing?
And I served as one of the expert witnesses because I was the last person to see my brother alive. And I will never forget the second day of court. Still, I don't know what happened other than them showing photographs of my brother's body for ballistic purposes and seeing my mother run out of the courtroom. I was outside of the courtroom, seeing her run out and screaming. And so like every now and then I can still kind of hear that cry. And I think about
that's a different kind. That's not a cry. I stubbed my toe. That's not my boyfriend broke up with me kind of cry. That's
my baby.
A soul crying right there. So what is the message that you hope to give people regarding the major topics of your book, which have a lot to do with, of course, the murder, but your mental state?
That there is absolutely life after death. Within our community, and you can tell me if this resonates with you at all or if you've ever heard this, I have grown up in I've heard my parents and other people in the community say, that's Mr. So-and-so. He ain't been right ever since his wife died. That's Miss So-and-so. She ain't been right ever since her son died. That's so-and-so. He ain't been right ever since his twin brother died. And so I would always think about that and say, Bianca, you don't want to be like that. So for me, it's just the biggest message is there is a life after death, and pain will make you sensitive to the pain of others. To this day, I can be on social media and literally, when I see, you know, a rest in peace or a rest in heaven, there's a knot because I can't imagine what that family is going through. So just understanding, don't wait till it's your son before you care. Don't wait till it's your brother before you care. Figure out how in the world you can best support these people because you don't know what they're going through. I dealt with the suicidal ideations. I dealt with, like I said, the mental health declining, and them. I'm okay with the pill, but not that many pills. Like a pill for everything. So just some of that really can be addressed with social support.
Right. I completely agree. I think that's always the first step that you should take anyway. First step is being able to confide in someone, whether it's your friend. So, to me, it's hard to, you know, you can talk to your parents about everything, but sometimes that mental health thing, it's hard to really talk to your parents about.
That's why I didn't want them to read it. It's hard.
Yes, because it's a generational thing.
Absolutely.
Number one.
And it does run in our family.
Yes.
I have seen some things. It runs
in ours, yes.
I've seen some things, and so I've been ready for some responses. If they would have said, I said, yes, I had that issue and so did too. Y'all just act like she didn't or he didn't. So absolutely, it's a generational thing. And that whole, you know, what happens in this house
stays in this house. It's hard because, you know, that's how they grew up. But I'll give my mom her props that she talks openly. I mean, and some of the stuff, the stories, you have to laugh at it. Because it's just like, oh my God. It's funny, but their perfect examples of, pick up the signs. It does run in our family. You don't have to be like this person, because it's always weird whenever someone who is, especially, we have a lot of bipolarness in the Black community now.
Absolutely.
People are being diagnosed with it, and people, they start taking it because you have to take medicine when you're bipolar. It's a strong chemical imbalance
best for you and
everybody around you.
Absolutely.
But they don't like that feeling, the calm, because they're so used to being in that state of mind.
And thankfully, there are so many advances in medicine now. I can't even imagine when we talk about some of the medications that they used just 10, 20 years ago, some of the side effects.
Horrible.
We're talking about, we go beyond constipation.
Yes.
We're talking about, like, some of them have a side effect of suicidal.
Yes, isn't that funny when you read that? It's like, okay, well, I'm trying to get rid of those thoughts, but you're telling me if I take this medicine, I may have them even more?
Yeah. What Cat Williams said at the time, a watery discharge? That ain't never coming out. Yeah, he said one of the medications had a side effect of a watery discharge.
That ain't cute, but that's better than being crazy.
I know that's right.
Okay, so if you can give a message right now to, I feel like we're all victims of society in some way, shape, or form. But with it being mental health awareness day?
It is.
What can you say to the person that's watching the show or who may watch the show later on? What message do you want to give to them if they're trying to figure things out and they're stuck without knowing what move to make? Hey, y'all.
Hey, she said, hey, y'all. To go from victim to victor or victorious, first and foremost, it is absolutely a choice. I chose when I wanted to identify as a victim. I chose when I wanted to identify as victorious. Number two, it is absolutely a process. My brother was murdered 17 months ago. And by the way, I had a breakdown today. Just to let y'all know.
That just happened.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yes. But we say it just happened, but there are some people who will try and tell you how to grieve, kind of like, you're not over that yet. So, it's a choice. You choose to be victorious. It's a battle every single day, and you have to just be okay with the process. And again, do not be afraid to seek out resources. As a matter of fact, I'm almost more okay with seeking resources than I am with initially going to family and friends, because I get that unbiased kind of middle ground. They're in it because that's their specialty, or at least that's why they should be. And so get yourself some help, whatever it is you need. And if you're not sure, that's completely okay. Get with someone who can help you assess where you are, assess your mental well-being, and get you some resources.
Don't be your own set of chains. Because that is what it feels like.
Absolutely.
When we get back, of course, we're going to have our Bitch Please of the week. But Bianca is going to give us information on how you can purchase her book, if she's going to be doing any book signings, how to find her on social media, and anything and everything except for her phone number. We'll be right back.
Hey, folks, have you thought about having your own podcast but are worried it's too expensive or too hard to produce? Well, you're in luck. Pink Phoenix Media, the company that's brought you such shows as the Libra Lounge with Keisha, Going Deep with Leon and Keisha, and our brand new show, the Manticore Media Podcast, is here to offer you the chance to have your own podcast professionally recorded, produced, and broadcasted. We offer very affordable rates, flexible schedule, and everything you need to make your media dreams come true. Check us out and email us at sales@pinkphoenixmedia.net.
That's why.
And you don't know what you're doing, Bianca. Bianca, she don't know how to operate her electronics. She need a flip phone. This over here with this iPhone, and her trying to do Facebook Live and all that. It ain't coming together. She can't do it. Okay, so Bianca, tell us what you've got coming up next. How can our audience stay in touch with you? How can they find you? How can they purchase the book?
Okay, so it is. I'm telling
Y'all. You see this beautiful Black woman, educated, career driven. She's an author of a book. But this Facebook Live over here on her phone,
and I'm still. Can y'all tell me?
It's taking her through it.
Y'all should be telling me something. Well, the director already told me there's no time, so I'm gonna let y'all know how to find me as soon as somebody helps me.
Let me see your phone.
What is?
Why
did it just?
Wait a minute. Is that me?
Yeah.
I'm so loud. I don't know.
You see that? Yeah, I think it's something going
It might
on.
be a glitch.
Yeah. I don't want you to be
How many
playing.
Black girls does it take to figure out a cell phone?
This is why you have to get yourself some help, y'all.
Right.
There's a pill for this too.
I have
sure.
a 16-year-old daughter. She shows me how to do any and everything. Can you come help her, producer James? Come on.
He really does not have to get up.
That's why I keep a white person around all the time for situations just like that. She got it. Okay, all right. So Bianca, tell us what's going on with you, how we can find you, and how we can get the book.
Okay, so you can order the book at Amazon. It's available on Kindle and also at barnesandnobles.com. And actually, as a matter of fact, I'll give my email address in a minute because some people are extremely special and they love to receive signed copies. So I will be happy to sign mine. Absolutely. Okay. They love to request signed copies. So I will sign them and ship them.
What about social media? How can they follow you? So when you're doing a book signing or when you write your next book, they'll be able to keep up with you.
Yes. So on Facebook, I am B Smith. So BEE, last name Smith. And on Instagram, you can find me at Finding Fabe. That's the acronym for my movement that I started. So Finding Fabe, Fabe. And that's about all I'm doing. I'm not getting into Snapchat and all that foolishness.
Yeah, I just use Snapchat for the filters for pictures. Yes. But then I don't know how to actually send the snap. Yeah. So, okay, Bianca, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Yes.
And thank you for, committing yourself to bringing awareness to mental health because it's so needed.
Absolutely.
There's nothing to be ashamed of. So many people, just because something looks perfect on the outside does not mean that everything on the inside is going okay, but there's ways to get back to okay.
That's right.
And when you're suffering from mental health issues, you really are just a slave to your emotions, and it's a really lost, dark place that you don't have to stay there.
That's right.
So I applaud you for doing this and how you are, turning such a tragic situation to something to help empower other people.
Absolutely.
And I hope that asshole rots in jail for the rest of
his
life.
You too?
I sure do.
I'm glad you said it, so I don't have to say it because people from our church probably watching, and the church thinks, oh, you have to forgive.
No.
He ain't done with me yet.
He needs to rot in hell.
Yeah.
So sorry, boy. All right. So you guys know what time it is. It is time for Bitch Please.
Bitch Please. You be rolling down the street telling stories. Bitch, you never tell the truth. Bitch Please. Everybody know you lying, bitch, cause all you do is lie.
All right, so Bitch Please, it was going to be this one guy, which if you saw my live video before the show, I have to do, I'm going to have 2 Bitch Pleases of the week. So, so one of them is a local person. What's his name? Randall?
It's Randall Lambamont.
Okay, so for my Galveston County, Harris County people, he is within this area. I mean, I know him. He and I have probably passed each other on 517, 518, at McDonald's, at Target, but he does not like me at all. He can't stand my black ass, in fact. Okay? Every time he finds an episode of my show and he just trolls me. I mean, he trolls the hell out of me. And, y'all know me. Y'all know I would go straight gangster in a minute, but I'm trying to be more Christian-like. Not really, but I live to cuss somebody out. But my husband's like, you cannot cuss out everybody. So I was like, dude, if you don't like the show, then don't watch the show. I mean, he was like, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. This is trash. You need to find something better to do with your life. Don't tell me about my life. Okay. So last week, for like the 10th time, Randall found me in my video. And this I think this made me the most mad because he put one word down there. He just put crap. Who does that? Why? It's okay that you don't like me. Like I was explaining to Bianca before, I think he want to hit it. And he know he can't hit it. But Randall, it's okay. It's okay. It's probably another black woman out there who might like you with your old pencil dick. Now leave me alone. I done blocked you several ways. Let it go. Don't watch the show. Okay, so that was my local bitch please of the week. But there is a story. You know, did you know, they say it's hard for a black man out there. Yeah. Obviously, it's hard for a humpback whale, too. So there is a family who they are from, what part of, Puget Sound, Washington. Okay. In which a lot of people go up there to see whales in their natural habitat. Well, apparently Darren Luciana and his family took a boat ride where they encountered some humpback whales, which to me, that is on my bucket list. I would love to see this, but his bitch ass wife decided to call the police on the whales. Roll the video, James. Roll it.
Don't start the motor. Do not start the motor. Wait a minute. We're all right. We're all right. Calm down. Calm down.
Oh my God, it's going right under us, you guys. You guys.
He's all right. He's okay. Relax. He's checking us out. He's checking us out. They're not gonna hurt you. Just relax. He's right under us. Look at this, you guys. You'll never see this again. It's okay. No, it's okay. Relax. He's going to check us out and he's going to go away. You're very intelligent. Relax. 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 Seriously. It's okay. Look at that. Look at that. He's rolling. Oh my God. This is amazing, you guys. There's another one right behind it. Wait a minute, let's get out of here.
You better turn the motor.
It's fine. It's fine. He's right under us.
I'm out in Puget Sound, and there's 3 gray whales right underneath our boat,
Yeah,
and
drive
I'm
away.
afraid that we might get flipped
Drive away.
over. I'm
Drive
really
away.
scared.
Drive away.
Okay, so I mean, I don't know what to tell the whales. Whales, like we tell black men, stay off the street. Whales, stay out the ocean because people will call the police on you. Look, lady, Darren's wife,
You have invaded his natural habitat.
you. And everyone knows that whales are highly intelligent and very, very curious. They probably was trying to see what y'all was eating, and coming up to the boat, your husband was real excited. I think your husband, if he had a choice, he would have threw you overboard and stayed there all day with the whales. Your kids were freaking out. I'm like, maybe y'all don't need to be on a boat. But I will admit, if the whales started getting underneath the boat, I would have been like, oh, how are we going to get out of this situation? But calling 911 should definitely not be on the list. And go ahead, producer James.
They're acting like they were killer whales wearing hoodies.
Right? With guns in their hands, in their fins, trying to rob them and shit like that. Rapping and, just like, saying they was going to shoot up the place. So poor whales, they were just really playing around and being friendly. And that is why Darren Luciano's wife gets the bitch please of the week from the Libra Lounge. Again, I want to say thank you to my special guest, Bianca Smith. Don't forget to go to Amazon.com or BarnesandNoble.com. What was the other place?
It's available on Kindle as well.
On Kindle, and purchase Murdered by a Christian on a Sunday. And don't forget to follow her on social media. Thank you again. And should we say happy Mental Health Awareness Day?
We should.
Happy. And if you're not happy, you get happy. Mental Health
We're supposed to
Awareness
be talking
Day.
about updates.
Huh?
Don't try to fast forward through. We're supposed to be talking about what's up next with me.
Oh, I thought we did.
Ask the producer.
Did we?
No, you just wanted to see the whales.
Yeah.
I didn't do that. When I said
No, you like teased it and then went to Wales.
Bianca.
It's okay.
Go ahead, Bianca. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. I get the bitch please of the week too. Okay, go ahead. Tell us, give us all the updates.
Something that I'm very interested in right now. So there's this duality that I'm having to juggle. So we talked about me being a victim. Well, I'm also doing work in the Houston area with the Anthony Graves Foundation. So Mr. Graves is exoneree number, I think 138. He was wrongfully convicted of murder, served like 19 years. And so with some of the money that he was awarded for his wrongful conviction from the state of Texas, he has started this foundation where they go through and they review these cases, and we're trying to get these people out of prison who have been wrongfully convicted.
That sounds like what they're doing on How to Get Away with Murder right now.
Yeah. Oh, ooh.
You don't know about that show, do you?
Yeah, I do. Too much about it.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit too much about
Okay.
it. So, just very interesting to see how I kind of have to wear two different hats. You know, I'm reviewing these case files, and like I said, I'm still a victim at, considering the experience and still going through some of the grieving, but I think it also serves as my superpower within his foundation. Yes, absolutely. So I'm all for justice and, of course, holding the person who murdered my brother accountable and anybody else who commits such a heinous crime accountable. But for those who have not done it and who are wrongfully convicted, that does not sit well with me. So doing that type of work in the community. And you mentioned social work earlier, and I'm actually pursuing clinical social work. Okay. So I plan to be out there in the field soon. So y'all can rock shirts that say my therapist is Blac. Yeah. I have a friend who that's his movement. He's out in Atlanta. But that's probably it.
She's a woman with many hats, and one of us was put me in check when I forgot to. She was like,
as far as I came for you, you gonna let me say
she did drive a grip to get here, because when she told me, I said I wouldn't have drove that far for the Libra Lounge, but we greatly appreciate that you're doing that. Please make sure to purchase her book. I'm gonna start reading it tonight after I look at all my tabloid stuff. Again, thank you, Bianca Smith, and best of luck to you and all of your endeavors. And again, thank you.
Thank you. Can you tell them good night?
I got everybody. Everybody gonna put me in chat tonight. Sushi, you gonna put? No, he's asleep. What did I forget about?
Oh my goodness! Can you say hi to my dad? I've been waiting on him all night.
What's your dad's name?
Dwight.
Hi, Dwight. How are you, Dwight? If you missed the live show, don't worry.
He did,
because you can go back on our page and you can watch it again, or you can watch it on YouTube, iTunes.
This the devil. This ain't nothing but the devil. You see that?
But we're gonna get it hooked up. Okay, so what's going on for next week? Because producer James, what I forget? Your guest next week. My guest next week is Jessica Haywood, who is running for Santa Fe School Board, which that is so familiar. The Santa Fe shooting that we recently had. Yes. So the Libra Lounge with Keisha held a community forum so we could get some. So the victims would have a place to, tell their stories, for us to get together and figure out ways to protect our kids in these schools. And it is an ongoing movement. So Miss Jessica Haywood will be here to tell us why she feels as though she should be appointed or voted onto the Santa Fe School Board. So we cannot wait to have her. If you have any questions, make sure to DM me, or you can send me an email at libraloungeradio@gmail.com. Until then, be safe. Hey, Dwight, we're back. And thank you for tuning in. Mwah.